Hey, what is up, guys? Spectre here, and I'm here to bring you another on the How on Limbo. Now, for this on the How, I'm going to be doing it a little bit differently. Shut up, Lotus. Now, for this one, I'll actually be explaining how to actually use Limbo, as not that I don't have an actual build for him, but it's more as I feel like he has multiple ways of being used. And for this, there's actually 3 ways. Now, I'm just going to explain the basic, like, needs instead of showing, like, or the basic stats for everyone and whatnot as we go. So for the first one, I call this the target-sighted build. Now, for this, you'll need, I guess, quite a lot of efficiency, as you'll normally do. And pretty much with this build, it focuses on getting main targets down and effectively killing them off while your friends take out, the smaller targets. Now, see, this really is more effective for the small levels if you can bring a sentinel, as it can kill the smaller targets as so. And then, but then you of course, again, you come across a big enemy, you banish them. And then this greatly effective with finisher melees. As the Dragon and Kana, one-shot weapon like the Opticore, or secondaries like the Lex Prime, which I kind of highly recommend for a build like this. Now, of course, you would also need duration, and for him, so the duration coupled with the efficiency will really help while you're rift walking, as you'll pretty much get some energy as you go. So, I mean, I guess you won't have to worry about too much efficiency. I'd say at least one streamline or 30% if you have to decrease it with corrupted mods, as I know some people have mods that I don't that are corrupted and whatnot. Now, for the second build, I kind of have this as a choke point Limbo, which focuses on his other 3 abilities, which will include, or his last 3, which include Rift Walk, Rift Surge, and Cataclysm. With this, you'll pretty much cast Cataclysm in a choke point area as so. And then with Rift Walk cast on, you can effectively, with Rift Walk and Rift Surge, of course, cast on, you can effectively go out and snipe, from a safe distance. So that keeps at least the range-oriented enemies at bay. Now, this best works with, I say, at least snipers or weapons that don't have, like, either weapons that hit scan, okay? They, don't curve, as I know there's some weapons that are, they're not hit scan, but they do have a really high accuracy, as in the Coalstar or the Angstrom. Those like weapons like that do have travel time. I still kind of suggest them, as they can take out either a group of enemies or can take out, like a big target in maybe 2 shots. And then the last build I would, I guess, recommend as a defense build, where this mainly focuses on range of a build. And as with the range, you'll pretty much be focusing on, like, keeping your Cataclysm up with this. And this is more of a one that includes all of your powers, as I should have said before. And how it goes is pretty much as in, like, a defense or mobile defense mission, or a mission where you have to guard something that's stationary, of course. You'll pretty much you'll pretty much stand from afar, of course, and then effectively slowly let your enemy, or like friendlies, kill off enemies, where the range comes in, as you'll want a big enough area where not everybody's, like, outside of the rift. And of course, you want the enemies that may stay at a distance inside the bubble at the same time. So, like, for defenses, this would be really helpful, because it won't limit those who hide behind certain obstacles, as your Cataclysm should be big enough if you have enough range. Now, with these last two builds, I can suggest a Rift Surge with a overextended on. Well, I can't say for the last build. I would suggest an overextended at least, as then you can have the range, and then if you do add Rift Surge or Rift Turret, though with the mix, you won't really have to worry about power strength so much. Where it's any enemy that's in the Rift will effectively up your damage. So this can pretty much like balance out the loss of power strength while in with an overextended if you do have one. I honestly say the only reason you would use Rift Surge in this is if you have a high overextended, as since your friends are honestly like will be killing stuff inside the Cataclysm bubble, the defense build won't really have the effectiveness, as Rift Surge, Rift Turn, and Surge does only work with you. So with that, it would pretty much be more effective, since you'll be the only one attacking that, or since there'll be multiple people attacking, that you won't have to waste energy on a Rift Surge, and it'll be more on keeping Cataclysms up as much as you can. Now, you could also use a continued Cataclysm build if you don't use overextended, or don't want to use, or yeah, I would say don't use overextended and whatnot. But I say if you do solo, going back to the other thing, if you do solo a lot of defense missions, I would still recommend a Rift Surge, of course, because that will again let you do more damage and more enemies, and that will like let you focus on bigger groups of enemies instead of like single out targets. Now, Rift Surge can work on the target spotted Limbo type, as you'll want to kill those bigger enemies as fast as possible. Though it won't. Now, if you this mostly works on endless survivals, as they'll be spawning a lot of towards like end game. If you do bring him in there, they'll be spawning a lot towards a lot of higher end targets. Sorry for the stuttering. Of the higher threat targets, so you'll want multiple casts. And if you don't have enough for Cataclysm, or there are a lot in the Cataclysm when you do cast it, then Rift Turn will still work, and of course will go even better with or Cataclysm Continuum. His mods are a mouthful. Now, there is a minor build you could go for the Limbo, and that is a healing Limbo, which I don't really have a catchy name for that. But this will pretty much focus on a Haven build, and you'll of course want efficiency. I wouldn't say duration matters as long as you're not in or you're more in you're not really casting Cataclysm a lot, and it's more focused on casting Banish with the Haven Augment mod, so you can heal your teammates. Now, I know this isn't a big heal because as the sources I've come to, this mainly focuses on the base of all Warframe's health, which doesn't include vitality mods. And usually that base is about 300, and it only goes about 25% of that. And I know that's a little bit less than 100, so about 75 health. In-game, this won't really do much. But, I mean, if you're just doing, like, small survivals or defenses where, like, you do want to be healing a lot of teammates, this could be helpful, as if you still want the energy and the health. And maybe doing late game, because if you do have enough efficiency, I guess you could cast this enough times for it to really be effective. But I wouldn't really recommend it too much, as I say it's not all that. Now, for the veteran players that do a lot of survivals, I would recommend the the target spotted Limbo build. Sorry if I do change that name a lot. I really didn't script actual like continued name for the thing, so I as you can see, I had a few names in mind. Oh, come on, shoot. But then what was I getting? But yeah, with that, I would say that because usually with survivals, you will be running around, not around your teammates a lot. So of course that would be more oriented into taking out the enemies that might kill you fast because of course you're alone. And I mean, unless you have overpowered weapons or else you do go late game, you're like you will be wanting to be doing all that damage. Now Rift's turret will also be could possibly fit if you have no space, but most likely not. You won't, and you'll want some. Well, I guess you could add it, but you'll want more of the power strength, which since you're not really putting a lot of enemies into the Rift, like it won't really Rift turret really wouldn't benefit. Why do I keep meleeing people that aren't even in the Rift? And then so of course naturally with defenses, the Cataclysm build for Limbo will of course be better because you'll have a lot of enemies rushing, and or if you do camp in survivals and just sit in one place, I mean you most likely will have enemies rushing at you in multiple directions and you won't be able to see them all. And if you do have a high Cataclysm, or well, I know this doesn't scale, but like if you're doing a late game, or I don't know if it does scale, but late game or early game and or possibly high power strength could kill enemies like the low melee type enemies off as soon as they enter into Cataclysm. Effectively, like you won't have to waste energy or time on them consuming like bullets and whatnot. Which, and if they can kill them late game, which will be a surprise to me, at least for the melee base, I don't think you'll get the heavy targets. That would be even better because they'll start racking up bullets or eating bullets effectively. Now for the other builds, it's kind of self-explanatory. Not that much thought goes into them. Honestly, say the biggest thought probably goes into the high threat, as you have to focus on your builds one-shotting instead of like sustained DPS, or like, oh, like if I don't kill him the first shot, I'll kill him with the second shot or status. I would say stuff like the Paris, Opticore, maybe Syndicate weapons that have the their little effect, and melees with oh, I got a message. Double credits weekend. Over, I'll go over that. And then melees that can with a good finisher build. Mainly oriented Nikana, maybe slash types that could kill him with a high enough slash, and yeah. Now I will go and say a few Warframes could benefit from this, as if you go late game with say maybe a Limbo or Mirage can pop up a prism, and then effectively if you do have a big enough Cataclysm with Rift turret on, with every enemy in there, of course you'll be racking up damage and you can be slowly killing the enemies, and of course when they go into the Rift they'll take more damage and the prism can effectively kill them faster. This, I wish the Rift turret or Rift Surge will work in enemies, but with the Cataclysm or defense build, this could also work for Ashe, as with the explosion, you can honestly like switch it on and off, and as with Blade Storm, be continually doing damage on people, and then it doesn't matter like with powers that, you know, whether in the Rift or not. Who else? Probably Saren could be a really good person if you for a Haven build, as you can always give them health, and since the like Saren's a miasma noob, we all know that. So she can, without taking damage, just run into crowds and just spam miasma while getting energy over time, especially if their efficiency is good enough. Now, one quick note for all my PS4 users out there, as I know I've slowly been getting more for YouTube and Twitch both. And I guess for anybody out there, honestly, for this, from this Thursday, September 17th, to the following Sunday, there's an event going on where high alerts will come on. As you can see, there's a working cell, which, I mean, that's a rare thing, but that's not something you want, and a working catalyst. And most likely than not, these weapons will have 20-hour things, so don't worry about like time restraints. And of course, there will be a special event mod that will be coming, or weapon that will be coming back, the Twin Wraith Vipers. So I would say if you can't get on, at least go to the Warframe wiki, as they have they will post alerts and you can see what's up. So then you can know when this might drop. Hopefully it also has a 24-hour drop time. But please, if you like this long video, which I really probably should have scripted because I know I stuttered a lot, please show me the encouragement and maybe a few laughs and drop a like here. Maybe follow me on Twitch and subscribe on YouTube for, you know, whatever reason you enjoyed this video, got information, maybe laughed at my stuttering, as I said. And as always, my wolf pack, keep howling, and see you on the next one. Deuces.